Here's Brody Brazil.
No matter how you slice it, and there are a number of different ways to cut this cake, so to speak, it's simply going to be an awkward season for the 2025 Tampa Bay Rays. Mainly on two fronts. Their home stadium, which we'll get into, and that's the most recent development because it has just been converted from the Yankees spring training complex and their minor league complex to the Tampa Bay Rays regular season stadium. More on that in just a second. But eventually we'll get to the Rays home schedule for this year, how unconventional it is, what a disadvantage it's going to be. I understand what they're doing in trying to avoid weather and delays and postponements and the Rays playing outdoors in Florida for the first time ever. I understand it, but it's certainly not optimal. As for the stadium situation, I mean, this is the Yankees complex, and there's no question about it. You can see right here, it used to say Yankees. They've covered it up on this side with Rays. Since then, they've also covered it up on that side as well, too. But there's no covering up the facade, which they have here at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, right? And that's kind of weird, too. The Yankees are playing in Tampa, but this is like mini Yankee Stadium. Look at the facade up here. It's like playing all your home games at minor league Yankee Stadium, which it actually is. And I mean, it says, "Thank you, Yankees," out here on the outfield scoreboard. Now, the Rays are renting this stadium from the Yankees for $15 million this year. But what happens when the actual New York Yankees come to play at their spring training complex? And I get it. The Rays have put all their signs up and they've even covered up. You know, there's an NY logo right behind the backside of that scoreboard. So they've dressed it up, the Rays have. They've done this quickly. They've done a good job of covering this up. And you know what? The Rays didn't ask for all of this either. If it weren't for Hurricane Milton, I have no reservations, they'd still be playing in St. Pete. The hurricane ripped the roof off, right? So the Rays were put in this situation. They tried to stay as close to the Tampa Bay region as possible. They're in proper Tampa right now. This is an experiment. There's a lot of other things they're doing wrong, but this might have been the best case landing scenario for them, although it's still weird. And how about this? One of their season sponsors, I don't know if you can see that, we'll have a closer view later, is Orlando Health, which I know is a sponsor and is a company and doesn't have anything necessarily with the Rays' potential relocation, doesn't have anything to do with their potential move to Orlando, but that's just kind of weird when you throw that sponsorship in the mix. So I'll give you a quick tour around the stadium. Yeah, I mean, this is very much a Yankees complex. It is George M. Steinbrenner Field. They've added the decals, they've added all the temporary things they can, and they've done as best as possible, right? Cover anything up that says Yankees. And actually, I think the Rays have been kind of fortunate that there's all these dark blue colors. The seats are dark blue, like it's Yankees navy blue. What is the Yankees official color? But it's a similar dark navy blue to the Rays, so Tampa Bay can get away with kind of fitting in here. Now you see the third base side of the stadium also has Rays up there, so they've covered everything they can. Like, there's no covering up that facade. That is iconic to the New York Yankees and Yankee Stadium. Cover the tops of the dugouts. Again, like I said, the seat color, they're lucky it's not like bright orange or something that doesn't go with the Rays color palette. So again, credit to the Rays for doing the best they can. Oh yeah, there's that. By the way, the Rays team store has officially taken over the Yankees team store for spring training and during the minor league season. And the Yankees at one point said, as part of their $15 million deal, that they would not sell any Yankees merchandise on the premises during the regular season. They didn't want to compete. They didn't want to remind anybody that it was their stadium. It is still their stadium. But the Yankees, as part of that $15 million deal, took all their merch out and said, you know what, we'll let you guys have this. So the Rays have their own team store. The Rays also have probably the best clubhouse they've ever had. Yeah, I mean, at Tropicana Field, it's from the 90s, and it's not that great. Now, what they did here was cover up the big, like on the, that's not how it looks. I know that's not how it looks, but there's a big NY up on the ceiling. And so they built this kind of like tarp structure to just cover it up. But I mean, even inside the Rays clubhouse here, this is way nicer than what they had at Tropicana Field. This is way more modern. And this is what the Yankees only use during spring and for their single A affiliate, the Tarpons, the Tampa Tarpons, during the regular season. So again, this is from Mark Topkin, a view inside the Rays clubhouse at the Yankees minor league stadium. So the stadium is quirky, right? But the schedule is the real quirky part of this season. The Rays are starting with opening day. Their first 22 games, 19 of them are at home. 19 of the first 22 are home games. They're trying to get in as many games as possible before hurricane season and the summertime and the humidity and the thunderstorms before they all hit. Of the Rays' first 59 games, 47 of those are at home. Now, when you see those two things, right, you're thinking, all right, that's great, nice advantage. Get used to the home facility, maybe go on a run, maybe make a push at the start of the season, have your team feeling good about things, but therein lies the problem. It's still 162 games, and there is still a balance, meaning that of the last 103 games, of the final 103, 69 of them are on the road. Basically, let's just call it 70%. Let's round off the numbers, 69 and 103. Let's just call it 70% of the final 100 games. A majority of the season, 103 out of 162, 70% of that is on the road. They're going to get so tired, so fatigued. Forget about the disadvantage of winning and losing games. How about just the travel schedule constantly in the second half of the season? And that's why I captioned this. It's not normal. They're having to go through something. I should say the inconvenience of having to play in a minor league stadium is one thing, right? And by the way, I should digress here. From the fan perspective, yeah, they just sold out tickets like a couple days ago for Steinbrenner Field, which at like 12,000 seats, they should have sold that out long ago. But also they were selling tickets, like the very worst tickets, for $150, $250, $400 a piece. And so you can understand why it took a little bit longer to sell out, and it should not have had that situation. So again, the Rays are at a huge disadvantage for their schedule, not just the optics of how their stadium looks. So going back to the schedule, it means that there's only a single game, 3-game trip to Texas from March 27th to April 21st, right? So from opening day today to April 21st, 1 3-game road trip until April 21st to Texas. Only 3 total home games. Now, the All-Star break is also in July, but eventually in the month of July, from the 3rd to the 31st, only 3 total home games. And there's one big, long, entire road trip from August 4th to August 18th. You can see a lot of home-heavy of the portions of the schedule to begin with. It gets very road-intensive by the end of the season. And they're doing all this, I understand, because of potential rainfall and storms and weather conditions. And there's no two ways about this. In April, doesn't rain as much. Compared to May, doesn't rain as much. You can almost draw the line right there. I mean, look at June, July, and August. This is the average Tampa rainfall. These numbers are crazy. And the fact that you're trying to play baseball through this, almost 8 inches that month, 8 inches that month, 9 inches that month, that's a lot of precipitation to try and get around. This is weather information from 1991 to 2020 on average from the National Weather Service. So what does that mean for baseball games and baseball teams? The Tarpons averaged 6.5 postponed games during the last decade per season via the Tampa Bay Times. Postponed, not like a weather delay, not like we're going to start this game later. Like, we can't play this game today. We need to do a doubleheader tomorrow. The 2024 Tarpons had 6 home postponements, 4 suspended games last season, 2 outright cancellations. Well, guess what? You can do that in the minor leagues. You cannot do that in Major League Baseball. Those games will have to be played. They'll have to be made up. Think about the nightmare scenario of a team needing to come back to Tampa to play a 1 or 2 game series at the end of the season because it got rained out in August. I mean, it is a disaster if this goes far off the rails. This is a potential disaster from a scheduling and a logistics standpoint. And I mean, look, the track record says this is probably going to happen at least a handful of times. So this is actually the more difficult part than playing in a minor league stadium, is playing outdoors for the first time ever if you're the Tampa Bay Rays, and what this actually means. All that established, I mean, look at the clubhouse, look at the facilities, the fact that they're over in Tampa instead of St. Pete. For fans and for players, like, they might actually, all the people involved with the Rays, they might have it now better in 2024 than playing at the Trop. It's not optimal, but from the players' condition alone and the clubhouse and the facilities, and they're in the Yankees digs, like this might be better than what the Tampa Bay Rays ever offered their players. There's still going to be some hot, sticky day games. I think fans are going to find this out. I think they're going to, in some ways, really respect the Trop and the protection and the climate control that it offered the fans for so many years. Yeah, sure, it's an ugly dome and baseballs could hit the A ring, the B ring, the C ring, whatever. But the point is, you could watch a game in at least comfort and not be miserable outdoors in the elements. I think you got to prepare for rainouts and delays and potential double headers. It's going to be hard on the Rays. It's going to be even worse on the visiting teams who have some pretty difficult decisions to make. And the worst part about all this, right? So this is for 2025, and this is their temporary situation, and this is all the awkwardness of this year, like covering up the Yankees stuff. And I get it. That's a divisional team, a divisional opponent. The worst part about all this is that the future even beyond this is so uncertain. This is fine for now, but I don't think the Yankees are offering this up for next year and beyond. I think this is a one-off. This is a one-year deal and opportunity to stay here. Now, the Rays want to go back to the Trop. Who knows if that's going to happen or not. We'll see if it gets approved now next week. The vote has been delayed and pushed back. But the worst part about this is that the future is uncertain. It's not so much this. Yeah, you'll get through this, and we'll see how it goes, by the way. I mean, there are two major league teams playing in minor league stadiums. You're very well aware of the Oakland/Sacramento situation. That was by choice. The A's had the choice to continue renting in Oakland for a certain cost or move up to Sacramento for free. The A's were not pushed out by a hurricane. At least the Rays, I mean, you can kind of understand, they were forced into this scenario, into this situation, but it's certainly not optimal. And I don't know, I look at this here on opening day 2025, and I think, like, this is a major league stadium right now. It was never designed to be that. It certainly does not look like a major league stadium when you see some of the other ones and some of the cathedrals of the game in Fenway and Wrigley and Camden Yards and Petco and T-Mobile Park and some of my favorites across the country. And then you look at this. Yeah, this is not a major league stadium, but they're going to play here temporarily, and we will see how it goes. I'm just only here to predict one thing. It's not going to be as easy as you think, but I also think there's enough smart people to get through this, and it's not going to be as difficult as it possibly could be either. So that's kind of my open-ended prediction there. Thumbs up down below since you made it here to the end of this video. I'd really appreciate that. Helps me, this video, and this channel. And one more thing, don't forget to also go down there and hit that subscribe button so I can definitely see you back here next time.